Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy P Funk with the fresh cut. And put my teaching hat back on. I got my little thing together. I got a nice little lesson for you. It's gonna be a little minute, but it's good information. This is gonna be about the breakdown on learning how to become one with the one, aka God, the divine as we call him, supreme being, whatever you name you got for him. That's what you want to become one with him, the universal Bob, the conscious. Excuse me. Let's go. Right isms, 25 rules live by, storyteller, excuse me, story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give real life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life, movement to spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I ask the question, do you know you? You know what I'm through. That's what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and knows not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know, it's okay. They're simple. Excuse me. Know not that they know they are asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you, right thinkers. Know thyself and to Maya. Be true. All right thinkers. Let's talk about P-Funk philosophy on learning how to become one with the one. Pay attention. This is good stuff. And the first part here, a little fluffy, but I'm going to go through it. From an advanced perspective, somebody who had advanced knowledge, okay, not all sages, but it's advanced knowledge. Neither, you would understand, neither time or space can be said to exist as something that is real. My name, P-Funks, means pure real. I know real. So let me explain it to you again. Hope you understand this. And just as time and space, which is matter or physical objects within your dream, cannot be called real. Why? It's only in your mind. The universe is in God's mind. So we are all in his dream, so to speak, having our own individual experience. Everybody got a different way to present it. That's just one I like that one. My man Alan Watts said God's playing peekaboo with himself. If you know all, you're aware of everything. You know everything. So it gets boring after a while. So he came up with an idea, and the human beings live it out and have their own experience through him. All right, but that's the concept. And the internal dream, excuse me, the entire dream world that exists in the mind, and it does not really require real time or space. Why? Because it's all in the mind, mental. The phenomenal world, the physical world, which is experienced that we living in the waking state of consciousness, is also not real. Well, listen, pay attention, and does not exist except in the mind of God. That's what I try to tell you. We're in God's dream right now. He dreams about the universe. We're in it, okay? But this teaching, this concept, is not only confirmed, okay, meaning proven by what? The hymns to Amun from ancient times, but it's also a primary teaching of the Memphite theology, that's Ptah, Sekhmet, and Nefertim, that is presented by the Shabaka stone. I gave that the Shabaka inscriptions. Now, in reality, only eternity is real. So what you saying? God is eternity. Come on, catch up. Come. Yeah, I'm saying God is the only thing that's real. So when you get to Him, that's when you reach eternity, or we know it be immortality, meaning forever. If you get to God and conscious of who you are, ding, 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 you'll be there forever. That's the idea. But since all matter is in reality constituted, listen, of the thought and the energy of God, and the changes in matter are called time. We on time in the physical world. And it must be clearly understood. Pay attention, listen. God is the only reality that exists. Everything exists from, in, or about Him. Simple as that. He's all. He's everything. Okay, simple. But God is eternity. Again, the limited perceptions of our unenlightened human minds and our senses are what human beings refer to as time and space. That's as we know it here. We are aware because we woke physical. I'm woke now. I'm acquired. I'm conscious of what I'm saying, where I'm at. Okay, that's time and space existing. However, the perception of time and space is only due to the limitations and the mental conditioning of the human mind along with the body. We have a body mind. We think we are human. Consciousness, being aware, waking up, becoming enlightened, is you knowing that you're God. That's what we come here to do as spirit beings having the human experience. Moving on. But if it was possible to perceive the entire universe, then you would now discover that there is only one oneness. Everything comes from the one. And when it's all said and done, everything goes back to one. I like that. And an eternal view that is not restricted to time and space, that's eternity. That's real. Okay? This is the view that what? That God has toward His creation. The task of our spiritual beings, spiritual aspirants, is for us to grow out of our human limitations of ignorance and the ego mind and body and discover the purpose and the reason we call cosmic vision, third eye vision, inner vision that lies within all human beings. Ain't no one person got it, he don't got it, she got it, he don't. No, it's in all of us. That's the spirit. And when you got consciousness, that's where God resides. Conscious spirit. He's aware and He's spirit. Once you reach that level within yourself, you become like Him. Okay, in the flesh. It's still physical, but when this is accomplished, you reach the goal. You reach Nihas, the spiritual enlightenment, nirvana, all the good stuff, salvation, resurrection, liberation, whatever you want to call it. But you have to strive and work for that to happen. It don't happen automatically. And when it is accomplished, now there is what? You have a new perception, a new point of view of the universe and you. You become one with the universe. And now you know that you feel the force. Remember Yoda? Alright? But this represents the idea of what? Death to the human being, aka your ego. I just gave you that lesson. I'm just trying to give you the lesson that you need to get what? Where you want to be, will have knowledge of yourself and become one with God for yourself. That's my job. I'm just giving you the information. You got to put the work in. All right? And for those who do, you know the deal. But that's death to the human being, aka one ego, and the birth of now your spiritual life. Hence, you're born again, reborn, resurrection in what? All human beings. We had the ability to make that happen for ourselves. I'm just trying to help you out. Why? Because I did it for myself. And God has assumed the physical form of sometimes the Neteru or the Paute. And these Neteru are what we know as the elements or cosmic forces. Again, energies that what sustain the universe. We don't have air, we ain't here. We ain't got the sun, we got no light. We got water, we got heaven. All those are elements that had to all come together for making it possible for human beings to even exist. So those was all taken care of before we got here by somebody who knows more than we do. Okay, there's a conscious awareness, supreme being who knows all, and which constitutes our physical matter. Therefore, this physical universe is in reality the body of God, and everything in it is divine, from the smallest atom to the largest celestial bodies in the heavens. Pluto, the biggest planet out there, was Jupiter, one of them. But yeah, all of that, that's all inside God. And everything is inside God, ain't nothing outside. But it must be emphasized and understood that in this process, the universal body, the spirit that's in all, itself now becomes the individual body for each individual and every human being. And due to its association and misidentification with self and the higher self, your feelings of what? Emotional body, everything is done by the body. Your ka and your cravings of your physical body, which is the ka, they all will continue to what? Desire, and that causes reincarnation. Get over your desires of the physical stuff and be fine. Let me wrap it. I ain't even wrapping up. No, I'm not done with this page. Let's go. So now, this is the part I like right here. By practicing the daily disciplines of Maya, spiritual disciplines, you the initiate, and now you're able to now through practice curb your physical, wanting, egoistic desires. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry about that. Again, by practicing what? The disciplines, right in philosophy, aka or Maya, you the initiate is now you're able with the discipline, the spiritual control, you will be able now to curb your wanting desires that the ego right there, thereby, and now strengthen your discipline and your will of what? Intellect. You're getting smarter. If you knew better, you can do better. So with the spiritual knowledge that you gain of yourself, practicing Maya philosophy teach you the things that you don't need to do, what you shouldn't do. You practice those. And it's a science that's practiced. Righteousness and virtue in your daily life. And it will serve to help and assist you to what? Purify your heart and mind at the same time. See where we going with this? Okay, studying, practicing the teachings, learning them, reflecting on them, meditating on them, making them part of your life, all the things that you have total control over. And when you cultivate these things, you will reach what we tell you, peace of mind. Not an agitated mind, not an egoistic mind, but a mind that's at peace. And thereby, you're able to develop your own insight into your innermost higher self. You becoming conscious of who you really are by these practices, trust me. And now, at this stage, the movement or the vibration in your primeval waters, which cause the world to be, subsides in you, and just as a calm lake will reflect the pure image, the purified mind and heart will also reflect the clarity of what your cosmic soul, meaning you know who you are. You're connected with the higher self. The waves in the ocean, in their infinite or the ignorant state, they think they're not a part of the ocean. They just a wave. But an intelligent wave in the ocean realize it's the ocean also. I ain't just a wave. I'm the ocean, having my one little individual experience. That's what God is. So the waves that's caused by the movement in one's mind would now once again become just as the waves that's in the primeval ocean before creation silent, at rest, and at peace, and with the one. Everybody come from the one. When you get enlightened in the human experience, you will go back to the one. That's the goal. And it says here, your innermost self, higher self, whatever, supreme self, supreme whatever. But your innermost self, which is the cosmic soul, meaning that's God everywhere, is constantly what? Interacting with the world through what? Your mind. As long as you're thinking, you're interacting in this world, whether you sleep or woke. Excuse me. But your subconscious mind, when you go to sleep, it takes over. And it just do what it does. You don't control it unless you know how, unless you're comfortable with what's called being lucid in your mind, where you can control your subconscious. But if you were to have a yellow sunglasses, if these glasses were tinted with yellow, everything that I see through them will have a yellow tinge. But if I take it down, I can see clear. The idea is to get the conscious mind to take any color or any tinge other than what? Clarity of oneself, and see it for what it really is. And when you look at anything, if you were to see your yellow tinge, that's the ignorance. And in the same way, when you look out at the world through your ignorant, conditioned mind and of the senses, your ego, your vision reflects the tinge of what? Egoism. Ding, 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 ding. The I, the me, yeah, me. And it's the deviant thoughts, negative, wrong thinking. But most of all your ignorance of your true self comes from your ego self. Why? It's edging God out. It don't want you to be there. Why? It wants to be in control. But if you can control your ego, subdue him, and make him work for you, that's what you want. So, and because of your ego, you can't see your true self, which causes now you to have what they call body identification. You identify yourself with the body. When the body dies, you think that's it. That's ignorance, okay? But if you were to eradicate, enlighten your mind, spiritual discipline, and practice new conditioning, now you would be able to see reality from what we call third eye vision. Open up the sixth chakra, okay? That's the vision that you have spiritually that you can see. But this is the goal of all the various disciplines and religions, to get you to see reality of mystical spirituality. Baby, religion, Buddhism don't make a difference. But the goal is for one to what? You purify your intellect with knowledge of self. Self-knowledge is the best knowledge, and Sa means complete understanding. Sa. And by developing and coming in communion with your higher intellectual self, you now have the ability to what? Cut through all excuse me, all your egoistic illusions of life, which is like an axe of wisdom. When you start getting knowledge, you are purifying your subconscious mind. Now it's under your control, so to speak, and from all the ignorant conditioning. To purify your mind and heart, I mean, you got to think, act, and do right. Okay? And in this purification state, we call it Sa, or we call it yoga of what? Righteous actions. Okay? Right thinking philosophy, I call it, is when you get the purification of your understanding, which can now lead you, the individual, to what? To awareness of your higher self, aka God. Where? In you. That's the goal for all human experiences, with them to find out in their conscious mind who they are. And the philosophy of what we said before, the four states of consciousness: awakening, dream, dreamless sleep, and undifferentiated. Those are the levels of consciousness that you have to reach. And this is called what we call the highest level, undifferentiated. That's transcendental consciousness. That's the highest state of you becoming one with God, aka Amun. What? The hidden one, the spirit that's in us. That's what your goal is. And as it is paramount, it is of paramount importance for you, the spiritual aspect, to reach that level for oneself. A profound understanding of this teaching will lead you to develop your own subtle intellect, knowledge of self, and your anubis, aka your discernment for the what? Reality, knowing real from not real, truth from false, of the right thoughts in your own mind as well as that which is real around you. You begin to recognize reality, waking up and realizing this stuff here, this ain't real. Oh, now you're looking. But in the book of the Cycles of Time, we explored in depth what? The daily practice of how these teachings, when applied in your everyday life, will help you realize its significance at the deepest and the highest level of one mind through what? Righteous and virtuous living daily. And this is the practice of Maya, aka right thinking philosophy. Maya philosophy, again, don't call it a religion, it's a philosophy. But this is what its purpose provides you with a guideline for the two confessions, for the determining, listen, what is real and what is not. Anubis, the discerning factor. This is crucial to what? Your correct operation of right thinking and control of one's mind. Why? Because the mind, it supports whatever reality that it believes to be true. They got y'all believing a lie and y'all creating miracles because you believe it to be true. You don't know otherwise. If you knew the truth, your belief would be well-founded and you would be rewarded with blessings. That's the truth, not the religion. The fact that you live in it and you understand it for yourself. But if you believe a lie and you bring it to fruition, you just creating miracles on your belief. The power is in the belief. Y'all believe a lie. Y'all make a lie come to truth. That's what it's showing you. But your own experiences of the world through your mind and senses, that's body knowledge. That's physical. 5 senses, that's what the brain receives from the outside world. That's fine and that's normal. But you got to raise your conscious level, become spiritual. Everything must be known through your what? Oh no, whoa. Oh, the mind is sitting. You have to learn that these are only valid criteria to determine the validity of the physical world and of your inner experience in the world physically. Everything must be known how? Through your rationalization mind. You got to be able to determine right from wrong in an instant, okay? But once it has been perceived by your senses, meaning the physical body, however, as we showed in the book of Egyptian Yoga, the philosophy of enlightenment, and the hidden properties of matter, physics, we know that about the Memphites, what is normally considered, listen, to be real and abiding. Solid matter is nothing more than energy in its grossest state, the heavier form of matter, of being. It must be clearly understood that the mental perceptions are not direct perceptions of matter. When the body is asleep, matter is not in the game. We in the astral plane now, where it's all mental. All is mental, the mind. Your hand, which you use to hold an object, is itself in swelling mass of energy, which is connected to other masses of energy and conduits that lead to the brain. Everything is sensitive. Okay, so your sensual stimulation is from the physical body. That's how the brain gets information from the physical world. You don't need the physical world when you go to sleep, and when you pass on to the next world, the physical body ain't going. So that's what you got to learn how to use this. And in the interaction between what? Different forms of energy that registers in the brain centers in a specific manner. The mind perceives these stimuli by how? Reacting to the senses and then acknowledging a perception. Therefore, perception occurs in the brain itself and not in the hand that moves. Consider for the moment the situation of a paralyzed person or your own experience if a limb had fallen asleep where it just numb. Falling asleep, again, numb. In these eventualities, there is still a limb, but there is no perception, no movement. Like, you can't control it. You say move and it don't move. Okay. Why? Because the perception media, the senses, are incapacitated, okay, interrupted, and consider the possibility of what paralyzed limb coming into contact with an object. Did any interaction occur? And from the standpoint of the observation, yes, there was some sort of interaction between two objects, but not from the standpoint of the person with the disability. You got a numb hand, people can take and shake it, but you don't feel nothing. Okay? So, now consider your dream state. When you are in your dream state, everything is done here. The body is in bed sleep. So, you astral plane, astral project. You physically, or you're not physically, but you actually project yourself outside your body to take. The mind can go anywhere it wants. Past, future, it don't make a difference. But that's how the conscious works. But when you have dreams, you are the one who perceive the various objects. You touch them, and you may even feel your own of them. They appear in your dream to be what? Real. Feel very solid and true. However, upon what? Your conscious state changing from sleep to now what? Waking, your world that you was having, it just vanishes, right? You realize that they did not exist and they never did. Why? It was all in my mind. They were simply energy forms which you created out of the stability of the astral matter, of the mind concept, and you perceive through a deluded and ignorant mind. They were fleeting masses of subtle energy that arose, but of your own mind. Again, you brought it there and were perceived by your own mind, so you developed your own illusory triad of consciousness during your own dream state, and you from this arose an entire world in your mind. I dreamed doing so and so and so, yeah. And while you was in it, it was all real. Okay, still in your mind, it was real because you was there in mental. The body was in bed sleep. Okay, you ever had a wet dream? That means in your mind you having sex, and it done got so real to the body that it actually reacted to the orgasm. That tells you that this controls the body. Okay, so now your awakened ego self consciousness conceived, dissolved, and now it will become a new subject. This new you used the subtle senses to now perceive objects with what yourself imagined to exist. So this is the triad, seer, seeing, and sight. That's when you wake up, this triad dissolves back into your waking conscious state as if it never existed. But as soon as you go back to sleep, like Rob, on the daytime, he cool, no problem. But when he hit the doo-wop, all hell breaks loose. Why? You got to deal with the prophets. So everybody get a free ride, then you got to put some work in. That's what they're telling you, all right? But if it never existed, however, upon waking up, you did not wake up into a reality, but rather you move into another form of the triad, the waking state. You have the dream state, the deep sleep, and you got the waking. The waking is where we're at right now, but there are three. The triad, there we go, taking it home. I see the clock. Oh, Lord, we're almost there. I got you. Hold on. But the triad of the human consciousness arises out of your own inability to perceive reality due to your ignorance. And without your mind and the senses, the physical body, now your mind and the senses along with your soul from the three elements of the triad, if you were to transcend your mind and your senses, you would perceive reality directly through your soul experience. Only through direct perception is it possible to what? Know the truth or reality, recognizing for what it really is through the third eye, consciousness. Now, the teaching of the triad is expressed in the symbolism of what? Of the divine trinity, which arises out of the primeval ocean, Amun, Ra, Amen, Ra, Ptah. The whole idea here is that the world in which you perceive as being real is illusory. Get past that. The senses, the five senses, that's all they can do. In which you use to perceive this world are also illusory. And the mind which you use to perceive the world is also, illusory. Well, what the hell is real? P-Funk. I'm real. Pure. Therefore, there is only one factor left which qualifies as real. Yeah, me. That factor is the witnessing consciousness that we call Amun, the hidden one. He's hidden inside your conscious mind. And that perceives what? All of the different states. Hermes Trismegistus, he's thrice great, meaning he's great in the physical form, he's great in the astral, and he's even great in the casual. That's thrice great, okay? And that's what the triad is all about. So through your spiritual practices and mastery of your yoga of discipline, of yoga of wisdom, yoga of action, yoga of devotion, and yoga of meditation, you can gradually lead and clear your mind to go to the deeper and deeper levels of what? Perception of what we know to be the truth until you yourself discover the absolute truth in which lies beyond all the illusory layers of one's mind due to their ignorance. Waking up. This essay has been presented so that the practitioner, you, the right thinker, may begin to really understand the visualization that is desired by your Peru text, teaching you how to visually see. They tell you, visualize it, having it before you pray, visualize before you pray. I'm like, yeah. Well, they taught that in the Peru. And when it is written that you now, the initiate, is to say statements such as the following ones in part 2 of this volume, as well as understand what part of the personality is being referred in the ancient text and how that relates to the quest for all human beings to reach immortality and enlightenment. They are mystic formulas, and they're designed for the awakening to the innermost memory of one's true and ultimate identity as the one with the divinity who has brought all into existence and who will also dissolve it when it's all said and done. It's always from the one. That's why I just gave you a lesson about learning how to become one with the one. Hope you got the lesson. Hope you made the connection. Hope you can use it and become one with the one. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. In closing, right thinkers, appreciate you tuning in. May you all live to be 100. Me, 100 minus that day. So I've never known my right thinkers who learning how to what? Become one with the one and passed away. When you become one to one, you don't pass away. You live forever.